Hi, welcome to today. Hey, have you ever put your foot in your mouth? Actually, have you ever put the whole boot in your mouth? Have you ever been in a situation where you were really sorry for what you said as soon as it came out of your mouth, or even thought about it a few minutes or a few hours later and gone, oh, I wish I hadn't said that, or you felt it coming out of your mouth going, oh, I don't want to be saying this, but here it is coming out of my mouth anyway, and you couldn't stop it. Well, I know that's happened to me more times than I can count, and it causes me to feel embarrassed, really humiliated, depending upon the venue that I'm in. If I'm presenting publicly, then it makes it all the more worse. It just exponentially flushes out every embarrassment gene that I think I might have in my body. And it makes for a very difficult situation because it's really hard to backtrack into something that feels stable and balanced after that. You know, if you're an entrepreneur in particular and you're dealing with the public, or even if you're someone who goes to work every day and deals with the public, even if it's not over the phone, if it's face to face, or even if it is, if it's Zoom or if it's in a chat and you say something, oh man, that just didn't come out right. Maybe it's just that simple. Just didn't come out of your mouth right, and you didn't realize it at the time, or maybe you did, but you couldn't stop it. You could see your body in motion, but you couldn't get your brain to hit pause and get those thoughts to stop and say what you really wanted to say. All of these things are what we call emotional management issues. They're, in many cases, an overreactivity problem. And that happens to a lot of us, especially when we have unresolved issues. And those unresolved issues could be from yesterday or the week before or last year, but more than likely, they're from childhood somewhere or in your growing up phase. Something that occurred to you, didn't have to be big, but then again, maybe it was, and it just didn't get resolved, or at least you thought it was resolved, but here it is, and it turns into a chronic pattern of getting angry for no particular reason. No particular reason. I put that in quotes because there is a particular reason. It's just that it's outside of your conscious awareness, so it seems like a mystery to you. Everybody else knows what the pattern is. They're like, here he comes again. Be careful what you say because he's got a hair wire anger and he's just going to trip it, or somebody's going to trip it, and the next thing you know, he's going to pop off and his face is going to turn red and he's going to stare you down and it's going to be very uncomfortable. And we all know who that guy is. That guy might even be you. It might even be some of the ladies that are watching here today. It happens to all of us. And I know that when I get in a situation like that and I feel myself getting a little hot under the collar and I really want to bite my tongue, it's kind of hard when that energy gets going, when you've got that momentum and you really want to stand up and defend something or someone or yourself. You want to be in defense of yourself or in defense of a belief that you have or a philosophy that you have. Perhaps you're feeling offended. That kind of thing is really what can get you into a lot of hot water. Now, some of you might find that it's really a wonderful thing to be highly opinionated, and that's okay. I have no qualms with that, but it's when it gets in your way and causes you problems in your life, that's when I come into play. And that's when hypnotherapy comes into play because I deal with this all the time. The issue might have occurred last week, last year, 2 years ago, but more than likely it has occurred when you were a lot younger and you've just forgotten about it or buried it over or moved on or compensated or done whatever you're going to do. Hypnotherapy is amazing because it neutralizes those triggers and it takes the punch right out of them, which means on the opposite end, you're not going to be over the top anymore in lickety-split. You're going to be able to manage yourself, and we call that good self-management. Does that mean that you're all fixed and healed and ready to go, boxed up and ready to ship out? No, we're always a work in progress. But if you're finding that this has really become an issue for you, maybe it's anger, and maybe take your anger out on the people that you love. And that's no bueno, as we say. That's not a good situation. So we want to get that fixed. And believe me, I've worked with people before and we've gotten that handled so they have a much happier social life and definitely a happier family life. It makes it easier all the way around when you can trust yourself and you feel like, yeah, I can go into just about any situation. I know I'm going to be able to handle it. Please get in touch with me. I'm looking forward to connecting with you and seeing how I can help. I know exactly how I can help, and I'd love to be able to answer all of your questions. Thanks for dropping in today.